When I started calisthenics at 14, I was a skinny kid doing random workouts, unstructured, hoping I'd grow faster. Fast forward 7 years later, I've put on serious size, gained a lot of muscle, and actually look jacked. And this wasn't luck. It came from following 5 principles that I still use today. So in this video, I'll break them down step by step so that you can skip the mistakes, start working out correctly, and actually get jacked through calisthenics. All right, chapter number 1, from 14 years old to 20 years old, my transformation in a brief chapter. When it comes to these principles that I'm about to share in this video, it is really just about staying consistent with them instead of actually trying to do everything at once. A lot of people think because I, have a certain physique and I have built good looking physique, I've built a lot of strength through it, that a lot of people think that my genetics are top 1%. And the thing is, it's not true. My muscle building genetics are not actually as good as you may think. A lot of the times people assume that when you look good, you automatically have good genetics. But the thing is, I just worked extremely hard. Every single day I was working out from 14 till right now. And right now I train still 6 days in a week. So this is definitely not a genetic type of conversation. Maybe in certain muscle groups areas, I have advanced genetics, but it doesn't mean that my whole physique is looking the way it's looking. And I've built the physique that I've built because of my genetics. And you can do the exact same thing. You can build your top physique that you have in your head that you want to build if you just work on it. It's not about, oh, if I have shit genetics in my arms or whatever, I can never grow them for the rest of my life. It doesn't work like that. So with these 5 principles, you'll be able to build your physique up if you stay consistent with calisthenics. So if you want the exact step-by-step blueprint, Jacked by Calisthenics, which is in the top link in the description, every single principle, exercise, routine, progression, whatever you need is laid out in there. So if you genuinely want to go from skinny to jacked within about 6 months time, as a lot of members inside are actually currently in the process of doing, then the top link in the description is perfectly for you. I'll see you inside and I'll help you out. Principle number 1, quality over quantity, the illusion of endless reps. People automatically think that the more reps you do with calisthenics, the more it's going to work. And let me tell you why most people actually think that, because I honestly think that a lot of times they're actually right. But when it comes to our style of calisthenics, what you and I are currently doing, we don't need endless reps. What we need is quality over quantity. Now, the reason why most people think that quantity is actually better with calisthenics is because they have the most basic exercises inside of their head. They think that, okay, if I do the push-up, the pull-up, the dip, and a row, I need to do a lot of those in order to kind of stimulate the muscles that I'm training with these exercises. And they're not wrong, but there's a better way of going about it. There's a better way of doing it. There's a better way of handling these exercises and do them correctly for your advantage so that you can actually build muscle with it. The principle that I go by for every single one of my YouTube videos that I post, inside of my blueprint, the people that I coach, I always say to them, quality comes first. You have to learn how to do a exercise properly before you can move on to doing more reps or more weight or progressively overload with a lot of steps. You have to be able to do it properly, which is quality over quantity. I don't want you to do 500 pull-ups today. I want you to do 2 sets of a very, very difficult variation that you can do and stimulate your back width properly for about 6 to 8 reps. That's what I want you to do. And I want you to do that on multiple variations. That's how you grow your back. Now, mind you, I have done 500 pull-up sessions, 1,000 pull-up sessions, whatever, multiple times in my life, like hundreds of times, right? So there was a period of time where I used to do 500 pull-ups at least like 3 times in a week. I used to do that as a workout in a single session in 1 hour, 50 minutes or whatever. So I used to do 10 pull-ups every single minute on a minute for 50 minutes. And yes, it was effective. Yes, it's going to build your back up a little bit. Yes, it's going to build your biceps up a little bit, but this is the most effective tactic available? No. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, it's not. The most effective tactic available is with this principle that I'm teaching you right now, quality over quantity. You want to be able to learn pull-ups in such a way where you can stimulate your back properly so that every single rep that you do screams muscle growth. And with that, we can build our dream back. We can actually become wide with this exercise. And I do agree that most people who focus on pull-ups a lot of times a week, they are regardless going to have a big back, even if they don't really do them utmost quality. I totally agree with that. But as I said, again, we want to choose the most effective route so that we can see quick gains, right? So that we can actually look in the mirror and see results fast instead of waiting 4 years to grow a little bit of a wide back. No, we want to be able to fucking see results quickly, right? Well, why don't you pick the most effective tactic available? And that is with everything that I'm going to teach you in this video. It's quality over quantity. Now, let's go into principle number 2. Why simplicity beats fancy movements. In my opinion, the people who are doing the fanciest movements ever for every single muscle group, their goal is not really to build muscle, but to look fancy and to look flashy. Now listen, if your goal is, which your goal is probably not this because you watch this channel, but if your goal is to be able to do front levers and all the types of crazy movements, and your goal is not really just getting stronger with basics and building muscle through it, then you should probably train different. Your goal is not to build muscle. Your goal is to learn those movements and become stronger within those statics and whatever, right? So the focus then should be learning those movements. But your focus should not be just trying to build muscle. Because if you're trying to build muscle, but you're only doing those flashy movements, you're not going to see the fastest results, my boy. If you want to see fastest results with calisthenics when it comes to your physique, then you're going to have to focus on training your physique properly. You're going to have to focus on stimulating muscles. You're going to have to focus on a bunch of things that are actually going to result into muscle growth. And that is exactly what I teach. Top link in the description. In my opinion, the real reason why push-ups, pull-ups, dips, squats, rows, basic movements always have an edge over the most craziest movements that you can think of is because simplicity is what you can progress with. That's the beautiful thing about it. When I go to my garden right now and I do push-ups for 2 sets, ring push-ups, deficit push-ups, dips, pull-ups, whatever, and I do a full chest and back workout, the only thing I prioritize during that chest and back workout is movements that are as basic as it can get so that I can just do the same reps over and over again so that I can actually build muscle. How many times in this video, and be honest, comment it down below right now, have you been looking at my chest or my shoulders? Yeah, I agree, bro. They look good. Why is that? It's not because I practice the handstand. It's not because I practice front lever. It's not because I practice back lever. It's because I train those muscles. It's actually very easy. The mindset behind it is very simple. You just have to adopt that mindset of, I want to work a muscle. So dips, push-ups, pull-ups, squats is something that you should focus on, but you should focus on progressively overloading within every single exercise. For example, take a look at this member inside of the Jack by Calisthenics program. A while ago, he joined. And right now, because he has just been implementing every single principle that I've put inside of the program, he is now literally progressing every single week. He sends me text messages every single week saying, yo, my pull-ups increased from 4 to 5. My pull-ups increased from 3 to 4, whatever, right? He's basically progressing every single week. And that is because he's keeping it simple. He's focusing on progressively overloading and he's actually staying consistent. And that is what builds muscle. So if you want to be sending me the same messages, brother, top link in the description. I'll literally take your hand, help you out through the entire journey, and it's gonna be fucking awesome. Now, principle number 3, overtraining. The mistake that cost me 2 years of making gains. I'm not even over exaggerating, but overtraining is very, very hard for most people to achieve. But when it comes to calisthenics, and especially the type of calisthenics that I was in, it's very easy to fuck up your joints, fuck up your ligaments, and your tendons. It's actually really easy. And let me tell you why that is. When you're the type of guy who used to do 500 pull-ups multiple times a week or 1,000 push-up sessions multiple times a week, and you were doing endless reps every single day, you can understand that your elbows, your joints, your shoulders, ligaments, tendons are going to hurt, because doing the same movement over and over and over again without any variation, without any focus on prioritizing your recovery, yes, it's going to lead to overuse. It's going to lead to overusage in those areas that I just described, like your tendons, your elbows. It's going to hurt after a little while, which has resulted into me having a tennis elbow for a long ass time. And what happened? I couldn't even do a fucking pull-up and a push-up no more because of that elbow. And that's because I was doing endless reps day in, day out. Right now, with the right mindset, I have prioritized my recovery. So how do you prioritize your recovery? It's not even what you think. You might think, oh, I have to sleep more, I have to have more rest days. That's not the case. You need to prioritize your recovery by making 3 simple changes that I'm going to explain to you right now. So write them down and then implement them the moment you start working out. Number 1, you need to adjust your volume to your intensity. More people, in my opinion, train with lower intensity and higher volume because it's a little bit easier on the mind. But what I want you to do is lower the volume, increase the intensity so that the issue or the possibility of overuse on every single muscle group is not really going to be possible because your volume is so low that overuse is not even going to be active, right? And that leads us to number 2, which is increasing the intensity so that you can now do less sets, but still get more work done, still get better work done, still grow muscle, because every single set that you are doing is taken to the absolute max. Now, number 3 is adding in variations from time to time. So rotating through them so that you prevent overuse on certain exercises, because the more you do an exercise, exercise, the more your joints get tired out. Listen, the thing that most people don't know is muscles take about 24 to 72 hours to fully recover. But when it comes to joints and ligaments and stuff like that, they can take up to weeks, if not months, to fully recover from the type of workout session that you do. So if you switch them from grips, variations, whatever you do, it's going to be way easier for you to recover for your next sessions, which is going to lead to more muscle gain in the future. So make sure you really prioritize that, because I don't want you to make the same mistake that I made, because it took me years to understand that, recovery is such an important component to building muscle. If you are trying to build muscle with calisthenics and this is the style that you're adopting, the training that I use, the training that I laid out in the top link, then you need to start doing this as of right now. Even my clients that I train, I always tell them, decrease the volume that you are doing right now, focus on the quality per set, and then use variation so that you prevent overuse. Now, let's get into chapter number 4, principle number 4, mastering compound movements. This is a principle that we all need to stick on. I see a lot of calisthenics athletes with the rings focus way too much still on isolation exercises. Now, yes, because you have rings, you can now, explore a full new world of isolation training, and it's fucking amazing. I agree. I still do it to this day, and it's literally the best thing ever. But the compounds are always gonna win. If you have a guy who is just doing isolation movements, he's going to build less muscle than the guy who is only doing compound movements, because the compounds is what you need to progress with every single body part throughout your entire journey. So if you want to get stronger and literally make some real strength gains, which is also going to result in more muscle growth, then you need to have your compounds on lock. You need to have your priorities set straight on your compounds so that you can progress within them. If you have the push-up and the pull-up and the dip, for example, you can build your full physique with just those exercises, with variations within those, of course, plus progressively overloading with them, plus having good recovery. You can build your whole physique with those 3 exercises. But when you do just isolation, every single muscle group that you're doing, you treat them separately. So you do bicep curls, pelican curls, tricep extensions, whatever. Every single isolation exercise that exists, what's probably going to end up happening is that, yes, you're going to build some muscle throughout it, but your strength has not been increasing like crazy because you don't do those compounds. And the more stronger you are, usually the bigger you also get. Let's go into principle number 5. And this is arguably the most important principle out of every single principle. Discipline over motivation. It's a very unsexy truth, but we all know that if you are just training when you're motivated, you're not going to be staying consistent, because the guy who is right now disciplined and still does the shit without him actually wanting to do it is going to see all the progress in the world. That's how I've been able to build a physique. I train when I don't want to, but I have to get it done. It's like brushing your teeth. Are you motivated to brush your teeth? Probably not. It's like a normal thing, but you do it anyways because it's just needed. Same thing with working out. The moment when you have set this mindset as like, fuck my motivation, I just need to go do this shit. I just need to try to go heavier this session. I just need to try to, step out of my comfort zone and do a different variation of pull-up so that I can progressively overload. I need to add an extra rep. Everything that you don't want to do, you have to eventually do. The reason why people inside of my program, especially the people that I coach personally one-on-one, which is also available in the program, you are going to be able to stay consistent because there's someone holding you accountable, which is me in this case. So you start with day 1, but then in order to go to day 2, you're going to have to kick in that discipline part, because without the discipline part, you're not going to be staying consistent. And that's just the truth of training. So if you want to build muscle with calisthenics, you cannot just do it once in a week or train whenever you feel like it. No, you have to stay consistent. Now, if you want the ultimate consistency proof, the ultimate accountability factor, top link in the description, sign up for my one-on-one coaching plan. A few spots just opened up. So if you really want to have me as your personal coach, and inside of the top link in the description, Jacked by Calisthenics, it's all possible in there. So I'll see you inside. And as always, watch this video right here, because this video is also something that you need in order to build muscle with calisthenics. Trust me. Click that right now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.